Hi everyone, and welcome to the Legends of the Ramayan Kickstarter. I am Soumya, the founder of the Hierophant Entertainment and the designer behind the Legends of the Ramayan action figure series. Join us, back this campaign, share on your social media, and help us bring Legends of the Ramayan. Thank you.
That's right, baby. I'm back. Back on a Friday night, special day and special time to say hi, to hang out, and to get very excited because it's a very special weekend. It's the last weekend of the Legends of Ramayan Kickstarter, the hottest Kickstarter out right now. And I wanted to make sure that everyone out there knows about it, hears about it, and is aware of these awesome figures, and to make sure that everyone that already knows about it remembers it's time to back if you haven't, baby. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to hang out with a couple of cool people that have something to do with the Kickstarter, and we're going to talk about it and hang out and have a good time on a Friday night. And first up, we're going to bring out my brother from Intern for a Day 2021, objectively the best Intern for a Day class ever, Four Horsemen Studios Intern for a Day. Mr. Eric Miller, how are you, my friend?
Hey, I'm doing great, Jonathan. How are you?
What's going on in your neck of the woods?
You know, I'm working on lots of cool stuff and helping lots of cool people make really cool toys, and I'm glad you asked me to be here. So I'm super excited to talk about these figures and get to hang out with you and Soumya too. So,
dude,
really cool stuff happening.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much for hopping on, man. It's really exciting for me. Long day at work today for me, like a lot of people out there, probably for yourself as well. So it's kind of cool at the end of the day, at the end of the week, to kind of hang out for a little bit and talk about something really, really cool and really, really sort of uplifting. Before we bring out the star, man, I kind of wanted to say too that, man, like, as my collection has grown and sort of reached a saturation point, and as I've gotten a little bit older, the figures that I support and the people that I buy the figures from are more important than ever. You know, I've always talked about, every figure in my collection has a story, right? And it means something to me when, like, the figure, it feels good to add this to my collection, not just because I think the figure is cool, because the whole experience around it gives me a positive feeling,
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the same way. It's just like you said, the older I get and the more my collection grows, the more I gravitate towards the independent things, the things that have so much passion packed into them that you just can't help but love them. And, lucky for us, there's a lot of that out there.
Yep. And that's why things like being a fan of Four Horsemen Studios, for one, Kickstarters where you feel like you're a part of the line itself and making it happen, that's so cool to me. Like, I still look back now when I log on to my Kickstarter account and I see the other Kickstarter campaigns that I've backed. Like, it makes me happy to see that history of, like, I helped make that happen. I helped make that happen. I helped make that happen. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm the same way. I've backed a lot of cool stuff on there, and it's cool to go back and look at it and be like, yeah, I mean, that's back when it wasn't even a thing yet, but a lot of those things became my favorite toy lines. So,
well, that brings us to Legends of the Ramayan, which is a Kickstarter line that is entering the final weekend of the campaign. So it made a lot of sense to me to talk to the man behind the line. I feel very privileged to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Like, for years and years and years, that was an impossibility. Now it's possible, and it's more than possible, because it's happening, baby. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Random Acts of Liveness. Soumya Das, welcome, my friend.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for the opportunity. I don't go out much. I don't talk much to people. So, like, being here and, like, being invited to shows, it feels like a privilege.
Well, I want to thank you, man. I want to thank you, of course, for coming on the show tonight and just hanging out and chilling out for a little while. That means a lot to me. I get a big thrill out of talking to you about this line, but also for doing this in the first place, man.
Hey, I'm intern for a day 2022. So that has something to do with this too. So that's I think that's when things started to get more real. So you were in intern for you remember
From that year.
sorry, I missed the question. It was like um, I'm just like noise.
Sure. You were at Intern for a Day 2022, right?
Yep. Yep.
So do you remember some of the other people that might have been there for your intern experience?
Yeah. I keep in touch with some people. And Cullen was there. Cullen is like your brother. I talk to him like almost every day. Um, who else? I think Joe was there. Like because it happens like in the Legion's Con weekend, right? So it's like you go there and in the next week, like few days you meet other people. So I think Joe was there. Met Wyatt. Uh, Michael might have been there. So a lot of people were there. And I met
And
Osman.
that's pretty cool too, right?
Yeah.
You made a post the other day, man, that really sort of hit home for me. And the internet can be a toxic place, and even the Cabal, which I consider to be like the best action figure Facebook group that I've ever experienced before. Even in there, sometimes stuff can get a little bit toxic, and like there's stuff in there that I just don't want to deal with or whatever. But every once in a while, something happens there, and I'm like, man, this is why I love being here, man. And it was your post the other day when you sort of talked about the history of working with the Horsemen, but in particular, you were talking about Eric Mays, Cornboy, CB. We all love him from the Horsemen, and his sort of tribute figure. But the post was more about your experience with him. And it was something that really, really resonated with me. And I think I even made a comment where I said, this is the kind of thing that makes me proud to be here. So can you just talk a little bit about, what you were talking about in that post as far as like the first time you met the Horseman and that whole story about going up to the table? I love that so much, man.
Yep. No, like as humans, many times we forget kindness, right? So when people show us kindness which is like unexpected, that makes an impact on us, right? And me coming from India, I went to school in Iowa. I stayed there for like 4 years. Then I moved to Jersey. This is where I started picking up. Like I had some Mythic Legions already with me, I guess, and then I started picking up more. And I used to customize. I was just learning, seeing videos, customizing, and there was a show, toy show, and I had one of my figures. It's that figure will show up in the Ramayan lineup, like slightly different form, but and back then like they didn't have the ogre scale and larger scale figures, so it was just like human scale figures. So I took one of that, I customized, I made like a bear dude, and I took that to the table. Right? And I'm someone who, even if I don't have to buy anything, or even if I don't have anything to get signed, I still stand in line. so, so I stood in line, I got to the front, and I showed it to Convoy. And what I expected him to just take a look at it and be like, okay, this is good, then move on. But he was genuinely happy seeing it. He was very excited. He was very excited. He turned it around, and it's just like I had sculpted like some of it. Most of it was just kit bashing, and then like I had got like a clay bear's head and put that on. So the way he treated it, it made me feel special, right? And when he did that on like at the table, people in the line, they were also like asking for it, looking at it. He took it to Jim and Eric Trendway, and he showed it to them, and that made me feel special. That this was not for nothing, right? So that was one thing that drew me to him. And then again, like one of the Legions Con, as I had mentioned, that we were looking for a space to park. We were late, right? Me and my wife, we were late, looking for a space to park. And then Conboy walks up, and we stop the car. I ask him, "Is there a place to park anywhere?" He's like, "I parked there. You can really park there too. It's in the dirt, on
Hmm.
the side." And he's walking all the way to the place where we're having that, and just struck me like, oh, he's one of the four horsemen, because he was wearing a mask, right? So I couldn't. And I was like, he did not ask for any special spot or privilege or anything. He just bought like anyone else. So that was the second one. And then once I started working with the studio, I started going in, and things change, right? It's like people welcome you to a family or a tribe, that kind of feeling, and
Hmm.
they look out for me, right? Even when I'm going through this, I know, like, I'd get a random message from Convoy or from Chris or George, that things are going to work out, right? And that means a lot. That people who have been in the industry for so long, for decades, they are saying that it will be fine. That gives you strength, courage to carry on, right?
Yeah,
And
like if he's saying it's going to be fine, it
yeah,
really is, right?
yeah, yeah, and that means a lot, at least where we are. And these days and times, it means a lot. And it's like when people are like away from their family and living, like I'm living abroad, my family is back home. So
Mhm.
that means a lot when I know there are people like even like Eric. Eric talks to me like almost every day, and when I talk to him, I feel like, okay, there are people with me who are rooting for me that will succeed, right? So, yeah, that's my story with him. And Conway is great.
Man, that's such a beautiful thing, man, because there's so much, I don't want to keep coming back to it. There's so much negativity and toxicity in the world. And like, I think the way you combat that is people, like the people in your life, and just being kind to each other. Um, so that's such an awesome story, man. Like, I know that as just, you're creating a line. You've created a line, right? I'm just like an action figure fan, but like, I'll tell you, the probably the biggest thing that really hooked me into being a Mythic Legions fan was going to the table and buying the figures from the people who made them, right? And like some of them were already like I knew who they were before I got to the table. So like being able to buy the figure from the person who made it, and Eric Treadaway gives me a sword horseman while I was there, I was done at that point. I was in. I was because it really does make you feel good to buy the figure from this person, and like I don't know, it's just and for you, I can't even imagine, and this applies to you too, Eric, is that to go from that to now like you're working with them, creating things together. Let me go to Eric first. Like, just real quick, what is that? Is that like a complete like mind? What? Like, as far as being this fan and loving and respecting the line and the people who make it so much, to now working with them and creating together.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to put it. It's one of those things where it's like I still, every day I wake up and I'm like, I get to work with Four Horsemen Studios. It's like just the coolest thing. And especially being one of the few remote people that works with the studio, like I don't always feel like I work with Four Horsemen Studios, but it's
Mm-hmm.
whenever I see little reminders or have a back and forth with the guys in the studio, or things like seeing my name on the back of the box of the Paladin, which I wasn't expecting. Like, it's totally insane. Totally insane. They're the best. They've always been the best. I've thought they were the best for like going on 20 years, and it's crazy that I get to actually be friends with them, and two, actually get to work with them. So it's so cool. And I was thinking while Soumya was telling his story about CB, My story was somewhat similar. I wasn't at a show or anything, but I made some customs, and Cornboy put them up on his Facebook, and was like, "Everyone, look at these customs!
The turtles,
They're
right?
amazing." Yeah, and that's what lit the fire in me to be like, I think I can do this. I want to do this, you know. So if it weren't for CB being the encouraging guy that he is, you know, I wouldn't be doing it either. So it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, and these guys, they always remember your name, right? Like even they always do. And now, Soumya, for you to go from that to same deal working with them, but like, you've created this whole line now, and I mentioned before because it's a big deal. We're coming into the last weekend now, brother. I got to do a temperature check, man. How are you feeling here? You've already crossed some pretty big milestones. We're funded.
Yeah.
Reach 50K. How do you feel right now?
The thanks to everyone who has supported. Brand thanks. we reached 50K, and it's very exciting. I was very nervous. At one point, I was like, probably will not hit that. And people told me that we will reach it. Like last few days, we get more traction. And that's what happened. The thing is, I'm still not celebrating yet because it's not done until it's done, right? So I'm just waiting for 2 more days. Once we are done, once we cross the deadline and Kickstarter says it's done, then I'll celebrate. So till then, just waiting, hoping that no one else cancels. Everyone stays there, and I'll make sure that I'll make everyone happy.
Yeah. No, listen. First of all, the nice part. Thank you again to everyone who's hanging out in the chat live with us tonight. We appreciate you taking a little bit of time out of your, Friday night. You only get one of these, Friday, August 15th, 2025. So thank you for spending some of it with us. And for everybody who might watch it on the replay between now and whenever, we appreciate you too. What I want you to do when you're done is go to Kickstarter, Legends of the Ramayan, and either back or add to your pledge, man, because this is where you want to be. I mentioned before a little bit about how cool it is to be on the ground floor of a Kickstarter, and here we go, man. Everybody has a chance to be part of making this happen, and there's something really, is there anything that's kind of as cool as that when your Kickstarter pledge is about to ship and then it comes in and, in some respect, it's kind of like free toys because it's already been, you don't even have to pay for it at that point. You know what I mean? So that's pretty cool. But that sort of brings me back around to this Kickstarter because there's something about this Kickstarter that's very different, right? Is it still possible? Did we cross that threshold yet as far as the Wave 1 figures that are ready to ship?
Yeah. So Wave 1 figures are like in the next room. So Wave 1 figures and test shots, they're here. So I'll just like ship them after the campaign ends. We collect everyone's addresses and stuff. Then I'll ship them out. And I don't have anyone, so it's just me who moves the boxes, who ships, who does everything. So I'll do that myself. So that's done. And like everyone who backs, I'll put their names in the second book as well. So it's like in movies we have like executive producers. So I'll put everyone's name in the book. So I'll make whatever number of extra pages there are, I'll put that.
So can you just talk about, for people that don't know, what you mean as far as putting their name in the book? What are you referring to there?
So we have like a mini comic that comes free with all the figures, right? So if you get a figure for Wave 1, there's one mini comic. If you get figures from Wave 2, there's a second mini comic. So the second one isn't done yet. So anyone who pledges for at least one figure in the Kickstarter, they're in the ground floor, right? They are kind of funding it. So I'm putting the names in like a special thanks in the book. And that these are the people who helped make this happen. And this book is going to stay, right? However many figures I make, book will go in those figures. And it's already going to 17 or 18 countries. So everyone who helped fund it, their names will be there forever. So
How
that's
freaking cool is that?
I'm trying whatever I can do, and even like people who are like buying my graphic novels from the Kickstarter, I'll sign it for them. If anyone wants a sketch, I'll do it for free. So just just anything. Anyone who is helping is family now.
You're going to be a busy man at Legion's Con, my friend. You're going to be like bring an ice pack for your. You're going to be signing a lot of things. It's going to be a very active weekend for you, my friend.
As a terrific con now, and it was fun, but it was very hectic. So I can only imagine how Legion's con would be.
It's going to be nuts. Where do you? My family. My family's loud, so you're going to hear them tonight. So just strap in. Real quick, we're about to hop into the figures a little bit because I wanted to talk to you about them, talk about the offerings themselves, and I want to hear your thoughts a little bit about them. But real quick, Legion's Con, when are you planning to go in? Is it just a weekend thing? So what's your plan?
For now, it's a weekend thing. I have booked a hotel though, so I'll come like the night before, and I'll be there the entire weekend. But if they let me in, I'll come even before that. I live in Jersey, so I can just drive there.
Yeah, well, that's. I also live in Jersey, and the funny thing is, like, for 2021, I did drive back and forth, and ever since then, I've gotten a hotel room because even being in New Jersey and being able to like go home whenever I want, like, there's an added thing about being there and like not having to go home for even if it's just like a night or two, you know what I mean, and just being in that world, that like fantasy world, like, and just being fully immersed in it. So I recommend it to everyone, even if you live in New Jersey, to try to stay in a hotel if you can.
Yep. Yeah, that's the plan.
So, all right. So you want to hop in? You want to dive in here?
Yeah. Let's do it.
So here we go. And I should say too, let's start this off. So I kind of wanted to, do something cool for the people that are checking in and do something cool for someone who backs the Kickstarter. So what we're going to do is we're going to run a giveaway during the live stream, and then near the end of the show, we'll end sometime, right around 9 or a little bit before 9, however it goes. And so we conclude before the Off-World guys start up their show because, you can't take two steps. There's a Legion show on 24 hours a day, baby. But I know Off-World comes on at 9, so I don't want to conflict with them. But I wanted to do a little giveaway. So what I got is a Shadow Elf Warrior that has a lot of glare right now. Brand new Shadow Elf Warrior. We're going to give this dude away. Awesome figure. But you're going to be on the honor system here. I wanted to go to a Kickstarter backer. So I'm going to throw a hashtag up there, and I want the people who enter that you are a Kickstarter backer. And if you win, you're already a Kickstarter backer, or upon winning, you will back the Kickstarter before the end of the weekend, because that's part of the whole deal here. Number one, it's selfish for me because I want to hang out and talk to you guys about this really cool line. And number two, I want to do something to help support the line. And that is add as many backers as I possibly can. So hold on a second.
Thank you.
Let's get that hashtag up so we can just hang out after that. So the hashtag Ramayan. Hashtag Ramayan. Throw it in the chat. We'll start collecting. We'll throw up the banner. Here we go. Here it is, right? I spelled it right. All right.
Yep.
There we go. So there we go. Hashtag Ramayan. Throw that in the chat for a chance to win this Shadow Elf Warrior to reward a super cool Kickstarter backer. So there you go.
So thank you for doing this.
No problem, man. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. There it is. Here we go. Starting off with the Wave 1 figures. Hanuman.
Yep.
Soumya, do you want to just start us off here and just say a couple of words about this guy?
Yeah. So basically, Ramayan is an Indian epic, right? So it was written in Sanskrit thousands of years ago, and there are like I think 7 epics in the world, and India has 2 of them, Ramayana and Mahabharata. So these are poems written in Sanskrit, and they tell us about the story of Ram. So it's like journey of Ram or path of Ram. So that's what Ramayana means, right? And Ram being the central character, he it's his entire story, right? Starting from his childhood to when he grew up as a prince, then when he gets married, he gets exiled from his own kingdom, like where he was supposed to be king. He gets exiled. He goes to the forest. He stays there for 14 years. His wife gets kidnapped. He goes to another um, land country which is like across the ocean. He fights a battle, wins, brings back his wife. So his entire story, right? So Hanuman is one of the central characters in Ramayana, and he's also um, kind of like a god for a lot of Indians, right? So he is he's prayed to at temples, just like Ram. So Ram is also like has the god status, and Hanuman also. So even like my mother prays to them. So, and I have like a Hanuman statue with me all the time. So Hanuman is one of the superhuman characters. He's from the race of Vanar. So there are like 7 different races within this world, where they're like humans, then Vanars, then Rakshasas, then Gandharvs. So there are like different races, right? And Vanars are like humanoid, kind of like ape, half human, right? That's how they are described. And they have, each of them have like has some kind of superpower, right? So some of them are considered like they are so like just like Zeus has in Greek mythology, he has like children
Mhm.
with humans, right? So it's similar.
All the
So
time.
so Vanars are also considered part human and part godly, right? So they have superpowers. So Hanuman has powers like he can grow in size, he can fly across oceans, he can like elongate his tail. So a lot of the superpowers that we see in like different stories in Eastern and Western culture, this guy existed before that, like thousands of years ago. This story exists, right? So that's Hanuman, and his tales are in the book too, like the mini comic that I was talking about. So his
Mhm.
tales are in there, and yeah, that's basically Hanuman. That and the type, the design I came up with, because a lot of times like he is portrayed with like a human body, like ape like face but human body, and in some places he's like covered with fur. I went with fur because the place I come from, like where I was born, it's an eastern state in India, and we have a species of monkeys in there who we call Hanu, right? So that's derived from Hanuman. So the color of that ape is what I wanted to like keep similar to in the figure. So, so yeah, that's Hanuman.
Super cool. Eric, do you want to talk a little bit about the figure itself to kind of let people know? And you worked on Volley, is that right, Eric? And Hanuman or no?
Yeah, so wave one, I did volley. I did not do Hanuman, but he is awesome though. He's a great figure.
Wait. So here's the full loadout here. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of hands. And can you talk a little bit too? So we got a faceplate scenario going on, right? Can you talk a little bit about that, Soumya?
You can say like the design elements that you see here, right? The pauldrons and other things. That's like a kind of a tribute to a small idol of Hanuman that I have. Right, so I have like 12, 20 years, more than 20 years. I have had that statue with me. So the pauldrons are there, and like bands in his bicep, they are there. So I tried to keep it similar to how that was. Like even the red and green color, that's also in the statue, like the small idol. And other elements as such, like the Rudraksh mala that he has, that's like a necklace that people wear. It relates. The Rudraksh is like a small seed, so they find the seed and they make a necklace out of it, right? And there are like different faces of that seed, like it can be like 4 faced, 5 faced. So it's like Panchamukhi Rudraksh is one of the things, right? So that's how the necklace is formed. I wanted to keep that for the figures. It's a very Indian thing. So I did that, and I did like his bond on the head. I put Rudraksh in there. And that's one thing I did. The white thread that goes around his chest, that's called a janu. So there's something called Hanuman Chalisa. That's like a poem that people recite because it gives them strength. It's it's so that depicts like talks about how what are the things that accessories that Hanuman has, right? So, and one of them is the Janev. So I kept that as well. And other than that, the wristlets and anklets, they're removable. His tail is bendy, so it can be fixed. It's on a hinge, and it has like a wire going on. And he comes with his mace, the gada. That's also like one of the Indian designs. The mace in like say Western
Mhm.
looks slightly different than the gada. Gada is like very Indian, and I think in Thailand and Indonesia too, they have these depictions. So that's there. And then it comes with 5 sets of hands and a crown that can fit on his head and a faceplate. So one of the faceplates is smiling because Hanuman is seen smiling in most of the images. Then there's one which is like a frown because he's angry, right? If Hanuman gets angry, then this battle.
Seems like a bad thing.
Yeah, so, so that's there, and I put the hair because I wanted him to look straight up when he's flying.
Oh, how cool.
That's like a gripe I had with all the Superman figures that it won't look straight up. so, so for Hanuman, I wanted this. So now he looks straight up, and his hair flows back. So
Talk about attention to detail. We have special flying hair included.
yep, yep. I
Cool
put
as
that.
heck.
So yeah, that's one of the figures I never thought that I'll see it, and like I made it. So it makes me very happy that we have reached this point.
I imagine they all hold a small, special place in your heart, but specifically Hanuman and Vali, did they hold a special place because they were, your first?
Yeah. And that's why I did both of them first because the idea was to just do Hanuman because Hanuman is like a central character. Everyone knows who Hanuman is, even here, back in India, in Europe, everywhere, right? And I did Hanuman because like even here I have like a small bronze statue of him with me. So it's like if you put Hanuman and you pray to him, or like any god you put with other gods and you pray to them, then you can't take them away from wherever your temple is in the house, right? So
Mhm.
that's tradition. So I had kept my Hanuman, the small one that I had, with me forever. But once I got married and we moved, I put that in the temple. Now I can't have my Hanuman. So I bought another one from the airport. I have him on my desk now. So that's like I had to make Hanuman because I'm so close to him, and it's not like a religious thing or anything. It's just like I love Hanuman, right? As a character, whatever he brings, and everything attached to him. So I did that, and I had no plans of making Wali then, but I have some like connection with Wali. I don't know. It just happens all the time. My first my second book that I wrote, and it was published by a company back in India. The story was about Wali, and I have always liked him as a character. Like whatever he did, like he was very angry, and that led to his downfall. But his story is very significant to the turn of events that happen in Ramayana. Right, so I had to do Vali. I did Vali, and now I'm doing a story about Vali. So we are doing a comic book series about Vali right now. So,
That's so
so
cool,
yeah.
man.
Yep,
Eric,
and yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
Man.
painted it. so, so his thoughts.
Do you have some thoughts on Bali since you had a hand in bringing him to reality, Eric?
I just love the character. He's a really cool character. It's so cool seeing it come to life. You know, from painting like a basically non-articulated resin, you know, 3D print, to seeing it go through production and then get shipped as a final product. It's, you know, Soumya feels it too. You know, but it's so fulfilling. You feel like you did a good job on something, and you know, you get the payoff of getting to hold it in your hands and pose it and mess around with it and just have fun with it. And I just think he's a beautiful figure. Like, aside from my paintwork, he's just a really cool design. Obviously has a very awesome story, and I mean, I can't stress enough how good these figures feel in your hands. How well the joints work, the quality of the plastic is all there. It's just, they're very, very nice figures. I would say quality wise, these are second to none. You know, they're right on par with Four Horsemen as far as quality goes. Materials, all that stuff. I mean, I think they're really surprising once you get them in hand, how good the quality of them is. So,
is there one thing sort of from with you doing the paint work on the figure? Was there one thing that sort of surprised you the way it turned out, or one thing or one detail that really sticks out to you more than anything else, being the person who actually did the work?
the thing that surprises me is how well the final figure matches completely like what I did. You know, the first thing you do when you get it in hand as someone who helped design or help paint master or something like that, you kind of give it a once over and see like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, the factory got that right. Oh, they did this. Maybe they missed this over here. But I mean, like, the colors are spot on. You know, all the details are there. It's like I'm holding the thing that I painted, but I know it's not the thing that I painted. It's kind of interesting.
That's awesome. All right, so the other piece was the accessory pack, right? And that's still available as well, right, Soumya? Oh, geez, Louise, hold on a second.
So this is what Eric painted.
Wow, that's awesome. I didn't know you had that. That's so cool.
So we got two, right? So I kept one.
Yeah,
So
that's so cool.
That's so cool.
yep. So I have one. I can compare it. It looks exactly the same. They have replicated almost everything. So yeah, good for them.
How cool is that, Eric?
That's awesome. I had no idea you had that. That's so cool.
Like I got like both Hanuman and Bali from the first wave. The second wave I couldn't. Yeah, Hanuman and Bali I have.
All right, speaking of Wave 2, there's a lot to get to here. You still have the accessory set from Wave 1, but in Wave 2 now, we have this more expansive series we're talking about, and we start off with Rama. Soumya, how about just a few words about this guy?
Yep. Naram is the central character, as I said, from the storyline. Basically, he was the prince, the eldest son of King Dashrath, and he was supposed to be the king. But he gets exiled because his father's third wife wants her son to be king, and he asks the king to grant her this wish. And the king does that, Ram is like, I'll honor the wish, I'll leave the kingdom. He leaves his kingdom, goes to the forest, right? So that's Ram, like sacrifice for his father, and he's also considered the avatar of Vishnu. So avatar is like incarnation. So it's said that Vishnu is a god, and Vishnu takes. So whenever there is something needs to be done in the planet, he takes birth as a human, or his reincarnation is in the human world. And so Ram is that, and he's blue in color because it's said that Vishnu was the color of clouds. So when they're like dark clouds, so those are like gray, right? So so it's
Mhm.
fairly, and people they considered the sky or the clouds to be blue, and that's why in all the depictions he's blue. So once Vishnu is blue, his avatars like Ram, Krishna, they were also depicted as blue. So in all the temples, and even in some temples they are like marble. There are some which are like other stones, but in a lot of temples he's blue. So and I wanted to keep that because that's what I have seen growing up. So I wanted to keep that color intact in here. So this Ram is like the jungle version when they were like in exile. So I made two versions of them, one in exile that most people are familiar with, and one as prince, because that's the version that you can have some liberty. You can give him like armor and more weapons and stuff like that. So yeah, that's Ram. Comes with a small squirrel.
I
that's
was going to
that's
say, it's a squirrel.
that's the Indian palm squirrel, and I changed its color like five times or something. It's like it gets something from Eric, and then I'll like, okay, can we make it like a little more gray? And something. I didn't know that I'm like these are going to Eric. By then, I didn't know it. So just asked for a change, but finally we got there. I love it, and yeah, we are like discussing the color of this guy like so much in the studio. Um,
Mhm.
Fantastic job that Eric did on this.
Yeah, and I will say that, Eric can do anything as far as I'm concerned, but like what like really pops out to me is his use of color. You know what I mean? Especially like in fantasy figures, you don't see as much bright color, right? But somehow Eric can like look at that figure and see it and make it look cool. So a character like Ram seems like right up his alley. Um, and I
Yeah,
have to say, there's a little somebody mentioned this I think before, but little Power Lords action going on
yeah,
here. Like, I'm seeing a Power Lords custom here, buddy.
yep.
Everybody needs two of those.
You know what's funny is like I've heard a lot of people say that about this
Uh-huh.
character, and the whole time I was painting it never dawned on me, like not one time. But
Like,
yeah, it works. And thank you. What you said about color. It's that's very important to me. And I think that is one of the staples of the work that I do is that I love color. I love vibrant color. I
Mm-hmm.
don't like mixing pigments a lot of times because that deadens a lot of color. So I like to use like pure pigmented, really bright stuff. So getting to use it on a beautiful character like this got me super excited right out of the gate.
yeah, yeah. Even like the hues that you see like on his uh, dhoti right there, right? So it's easy for me like when because I'm doing it in 2D, so I'll just put the shades in there. but, but I can only imagine how hard it must be for Eric to like do that for these, like when it has to look like cloth piece. So and like all the figures that he has painted, you'll see those like minor things in there, that if it's like a dipping, there's like a shadow going on in there. If it's like a different type of cloth, then he has like put shine on it. So we have gone back and forth on those a lot. It just shows like how detailed these are. Like when you have them in hand, you'll know.
Sweet. Well, continuing through wave 2, next we
Yeah.
have Lakshmana.
Yep. Lakshman was Ram's brother. So when Ram gets exiled, Lakshman is like, as your brother, I'll go with you. So he also leaves the kingdom, leaves his wife, and goes with Ram and Sita to the jungle. So Lakshman is the guy who's slightly quick to anger, but he's trained in the same things that Ram is trained in. And he's said to be the avatar of Sheshnag. So the avatar of Vishnu stays close to avatar of Sheshnag, right, as his brother. So in Mahabharata too, so that's the same theme kind of. So that's who Lakshman is. He goes with Ram to the forest, and that's why their attires are same. Um, yeah, that's same.
And so far out of wave 1 and then the second figure in wave 2, now this guy is the most, like human like as far as like the body, right? You have
Yeah.
this guy is just, a dude kind of. And so you're wondering, like, I'm already thinking about like what are people going to do from a customizing perspective too, right? Like I could see this guy being a customizer's favorite.
Yep.
Beautiful,
It's
beautiful.
very, very easy to customize these. As playing around with Vali, some of the stuff fits with even mythical legions. So if people want to kit bash or customize, they can try that.
Sorry, I'm like, all of a sudden I stopped. I'm like, I wonder what you could do with him. That'd be pretty cool.
You have a lot of options. Lot of.
The build and the musculature of those figures is like gorgeous. So yeah, I mean it is, if you're a customizer,
Mhm.
it could be an awesome blank canvas for, whatever you're wanting to do.
Yep. And I didn't want like them to be like very buff. So this is not like a very buff body. It's muscular, but still not like very buff.
He's buff compared to me. And then we get to Prince Ram. So this is the Prince version, the powered up version.
Yep.
So we get the same character, but like
And
pumped up to like 1,000 here.
yeah. Yep. No, it's a different attire. There's the armor. There are two armors, like one which is like attached to the body, so that's a different buck, and there's the armor that's like removable that goes on top of it, and that's the blue sapphire that I was talking about on his armor. So and then we were in the studio, and Sherry was like, Eric did a lot of work on this.
Do you want to just tell that story a little bit?
So yeah, so I go to the studio whenever there's like new things come in. If there are like painted figures that come in, if we have like prototypes that come in, we go to the studio and we discuss those. So this was in, and we were like all admiring how good it looks, and it went to, I think, Sherry, because I asked like to paint. We wanted like the Rudraksh malas painted. And Sherry looks at it and says, like, Eric did a lot of work on this. we have to train him not to do so much.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
That is hilarious. I didn't know that happened, so that's so cool. It's awesome to hear that kind of feedback from people that I've looked up to for so long. So it's cool. I don't plan on slowing down though. So I mean, until they tell me to stop, I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, this is something very unique for the collectors. Like, I'm a collector first, right? So seeing this happening, seeing these figures in hand, and look how beautiful they look, it means a lot.
It's super cool. And it's cool, like I love like the Ram figure, and he's just like I said, he's like, I'm getting like Atom Power vibes. I just love the look of it. But then I also am drawn a lot of times to a little bit more flavor, a little bit more pop, a little bit more of like an ostentatious nature. So gold armor, jewels, stuff like that, right up my alley.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Even like his the gems in his hand, they're also painted the same.
Yep. Oof.
Yeah, and the gold, there are like 5 different types of gold.
I heard you. Yeah, I heard you guys talking about that before. Or Eric, I think, was talking about it one time about the number. It might have been on the Mythic Enablers podcast, maybe, about how many different golds you used.
Yeah, there was, there's call out sheets for all the characters that, Soumya does the designs, and he picks out the details that he wants to make sure that we get done perfectly. So he had kind of laid out a map that had 5 different golds on it. And I remember going back to George and being like, 5 golds, huh? And he just went, yeah.
5 golds.
Good luck. And we made it work. It was great, and it was a fun challenge, and the result is awesome. I'm not trying to like, praise my work or whatever, but it's like when you paint something and it looks cool, you get to step back and say, this looks cool. And especially knowing that the factory's gonna nail it too, because you know who's working on it, you know who the project managers are, you know that everything's gonna be perfect. So when it looks awesome, it just gets you excited.
Yep, man. Sorry for the number of goals.
No,
It's like,
you had it that way for a reason, and you see why when you see the figure. It's like I said, that the payoff is incredible.
yeah.
You had the vision, and and it's moving forward that way, and it looks great. That's part of what makes it unique.
I don't know if like other like support also works for other people too. I just don't know if like they're that involved with the call out sheets and everything. I just put things in there that I think, and like when I go back, like in India, like back in the day, there was like a lot of gold. Right, so they say the city of Lanka was made of gold, the one where Ravan was king. So it was like made of gold. So they had gold and they experimented with the gold. Right, they would change the different carats of gold, and that would give them a different malleability and different color when they mix it with other things. So that's why I wanted to show that, like there would be these characters with this kind of details on them.
And then we have Prince Lakshma. Again, we have the panoply of golds in the armor again. Absolutely gorgeous, man.
Yeah, the people can like even army build with this character. Like if they want to like have it stand with like mythic legions, elves, or like human soldiers, they can. It comes with a lot of accessories too. So,
He looks happy about it. Again, and the figure, like just like you just said, these figures have like incredible loadouts too.
yeah, yeah, and if you buy them from the Kickstarter, I'm adding like different things. Like for Ram and Lakshman, I'm adding swords. For Prince versions of them, I'm adding the extra heads. So if you get them from Kickstarter, that's like extra.
Sick, man. Even more incentive to join the Kickstarter. Speaking of which, this was a guy I wanted to get to. A Kickstarter exclusive. Am I saying his name right? Rakamaze?
Yep.
Rakamaze. The maze, of course, an homage to
Convoy. So, and all thanks to Cullen for helping with the name. Else he would have been named like Corn Beast. so, so Cullen knows all the details about other lines and stuff, and he kind of like came up with the name, and I was like, yeah, that sounds a bit Indian too. Because Raka is an Indian name, so we're like Raka Maze. That would like go fit right in. So we went with that, and yeah, painted by Sherry. I'm happy that there's one figure that's painted by Sherry. That's it's like I think like all of our collectors, that's like a standard that it's is like anything that would be painted by her would be like gold. So
and she did a beautiful job, man.
yeah, yep. I haven't seen it in person though, but I've been asked to come to the studio and see it before it goes away. So yeah, I'll do that.
He's a must-have and a Kickstarter exclusive.
Yeah, Yeah, so I decided to like keep it just exclusive to the Kickstarter. It won't go to retailers after this. I might have some extras because we have to have like a minimum order quantity from the factory. So
Mhm.
it doesn't like go up to that number through the Kickstarter. Whatever extra I'll have, I'll just probably keep it, or like and do giveaways, or like give to friends, or take to shows, something like that. Um, yeah.
So we got a
So,
question here from Wyatt. Is Rockamaze included in any of the all-in packages, or does he always have to be added separately?
so if you're doing the full wave one and wave two all in, he's free. So I'll add that to your package. You don't have to add it extra. But if you're doing like a single, say wave one, then you have the option to add him. And but if you're doing like both, or if you're taking both the test shots, he's free. And it's yeah, and it's just like me. So anyone can just like message me, and yeah, I'll get things sorted for them.
And he comes with the corn and the corn whip.
Yep.
Beautiful attention to detail, I think, man.
Yeah. So this was like a last minute addition. I did the design of like this is how it's going to look, and we spoke with the sculptor. The sculptor did the work, and yeah, we got that painted. It's now being tooled in the factory.
So cool. And then there are some additional stretch goals. You know, when we completely explode and blow the Kickstarter wide open this weekend, we can look forward to some of these guys.
And these guys will be made though. These guys will be made. So even if we hit the goals, then these guys would be made oddly, right? So that's the
Mhm.
thing. If we don't hit those goals, then these will come for sure, but slightly late. So that's why I put the goal in there. If people are like really into these, if they pledge and blow it out of the water, then then these will be coming with like other figures like Ram, Lakshman, and everyone.
Yeah, there's so much about this Kickstarter that's different than any other one that I've really had experience with. Sort of the fact that, you know, the wave one figures you can get sort of right away, right? The fact that some of these figures, you know, no matter what happens, you know that they're coming right down the line. Like it's cool to have like little details like that that are just different that make this campaign seem like a little bit cooler.
Yep. No, thank you, thank you. I want people to have these figures, right? And
His
that
face.
yeah, that's that's my favorite, I guess. Like in the face designs,
Uh huh. Oh,
it's like yeah. I don't know. I thought that if we give them some kind of expressions, um,
hmm.
something that I like in my figures, like I customize and I make figures from green stuff and other other things. So I like them to have like doing something with the face, like have some expression, like laughing or like getting angry. There's one faceplate of Ravan where his eyes are closed, just so that people can pose him with his veena, playing the veena, right? So yeah, that's why I did this. And then yeah, this is Ravan, his Meghnad's father, and yeah, he's like a beast right now because his size is
Ooh, those
much.
pauldrons.
Yeah, yeah. Then, and again, I'm sorry, I'm making people work so much, but they're mostly compatible with the horseman figures too.
Wyatt just back all in for waves 1 and 2, baby. Let's do this.
Thanks, man.
And there's so much in this offering, man. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, and most of the things are removable, like his chains, his pauldrons, his crown, they're removable. So if you want to take them off, if you want to like dismantle him, take the dragon head from his belt, you can do that, customize. Uh,
oh,
so
that's awesome.
yeah, his entire theme is dragon, because his son is related to the snakes. So that was the theme for Meghnad. even his pauldrons I designed like you see those green snakes on the um tree's branch, and they're like sleeping when you go to like a zoo or somewhere. So
Mhm. Yeah.
that's they're called, right? And that's the design I was going after for his pauldrons, and that I did for Meghnad. And his entire theme, Meghnad's entire theme is snake. And because his was snake, his father had to top that. And what tops snake, and as like we'll go for dragons. So Ravan's entire theme is dragon. Even his like um, wristband or his armor, everything is dragon for Ravan. Yeah,
He's got the coolest weapons too.
yeah. So the story about Ravan is he takes over his cousin's empire, right? His cousin was Kuber. Kuber is the god of wealth, right? So Kuber's entire palace was made of gold. Kuber's he had like the entire treasure of the world, right? So but Ravan and his brothers like Vibhishan and Kumbhakarna, they take over and exile Kuber from his kingdom. So I wanted to have uh, Ravan some of his own stuff, right? And that's why you can see the difference. His pauldron, his crown, they are made of gold. They have the dragon theme, but they are made of gold that he got from Kuber. But his weapons have like the bronze kind of feel, same dragon theme, but bronze because he brought his weapons with him. So I wanted to show that difference, that he got the weapons with him, fought, took over the kingdom. Now he has gold. So that was his the entire idea behind him. Uh, yeah,
And then we got to talk about this: the Ravana Enraged accessory pack.
yep. So Ravan has like three. He will have three versions. One is like where he has single head. This is the enraged version where his heads. He's also called Dasanan. That means like 10 heads. So he had 10 heads. So this is the enraged version where his 10 heads are coming out from his torso. Right. So this torso is slightly larger than the other torso, and the heads are coming out. And then the final form is when the heads are all spread out and he has 20 arms. So that's wave 4, but that will happen. So yeah.
So 10 heads, 20 arms. We're doing everything. I don't care.
Yeah. If I would, no one would. So
And you have test shots available.
Yep. That the test shots have a story of their own. This color,
And they come in packages? That's amazing.
yeah, they come in packages, and they have the comic book too, for anyone picking them up. So the test shots are there, and they have like their own small story. And this color of the valley is probably similar to all the Mythic Legends test shots too. So
Speaking of which, did either you guys, Eric, I believe you said you did either of you guys hop in on any of the test shots from the recent test shot sale week 1 last week?
very
Soumya?
cool. Yes. I forgot. As a terrific fan, I was like so sad.
You got a lot going on.
This is the
For
first
sure.
test shots I like missed. I remember even the first one that they did, like for wave 1, and back then they probably marked the test shots at a higher price, $100 or something, and they didn't sell, and they were like, "Oh, we overestimated this," and they brought down the prices for those, and then people bought them. So I've been a part of the test shot collection from then. But this is the first time I missed it.
I'm definitely
And so-
all over whenever there's a test shot sale, so I'm a sucker for them. So I grabbed 2, and my wife got 1 for me, and then I found out later, because my son blew it, that she got another one for me that she was planning on keeping until Christmas. But I don't know. Maybe we'll get that at Christmas time. We'll see.
All right. So we're even listen. We could probably do this another a couple of hours, but that hour went by real quick. So let's do a couple things here.
Yep.
Let's do the giveaway I promised I would do. So last chance, guys. Hashtag Ramayan, and we're going to give away the Shadow Elf Warrior. Again, we want this, or I want this. I'm saying I would like to go to a Kickstarter backer. So if you're not already a Kickstarter backer, please go back, and that will confirm your eligibility, even ipso post facto. Ipso post facto? Ipso post facto. So because we're going to spin this right now, hashtag Ramayan. We're going to give away the Shadow Elf Warrior. And here we go. Hashtag Ramayan, last chance in 3, 2, 1. Boom! Congratulations. I didn't even see you. I saw Terrence around earlier. Well, congratulations. Shoot me a message. I might already have your address. But just let me know where to send it to, and we will get it out to you. Thank you very much for being here and supporting this little show as we're kicking off the last weekend of the Kickstarter here. And thank you for being a backer. Soumya, do you want to just talk about, do you have so I know you have a couple of other things, or I know you'll be on Just Shelve It Sunday night to wrap it up, right?
Yep. I told Jesse that I might just be like crying. It's just like it's so overwhelming. But yeah, I'll be there. And we'll be like saying really celebrating or saying goodbye.
So question, real quick, before we let everyone go. So for like these accessory packs, these are all available right now? Like you can add them as part of the Kickstarter, I mean?
Yeah. So everything you can add as a Kickstarter. You can click rewards. You can click add-ons, and add-ons as the like the books too. If you want the books, you can pick them up. If you want me to sign them, I'll sign them, inscribe them, do sketches for you. So anything goes.
All right, so we'll go this, and we'll go. Hold on a second. Sorry, I'm putting together a little package here. Did I add Rama? Where are we at? All right, here we go.
Thank you.
You got it. I'm backing right now. I might pull it down while I actually put my payment in.
Yeah.
Good call.
But yeah. Here we go. Okay, payment method verified. Security code.
If you're taking Hanuman's accessory pack, take Hanuman too, because he has to sit on that. That's just like compatible with them.
Okay. Circling. Boom, baby.
Thank you.
There we go.
That's so awesome.
I just backed live on the air. You do it too. I'm freaking excited. Super excited. Does it tell me what number I am? I'll find that out later. Yeah, man. And there's so many different options. You can go big, go small. Doesn't matter, man. There's so many cool figures involved. Yeah, I mean, I could sit here all night, but I know we got some of my boys over on Offworld have already started. So, real quick, some final words. You know what? Let me start with Eric, and then we'll go to Soumya and let him sort of take us out. Eric, any final words as we head into the last weekend of the Legends of the Ramayan Kickstarter?
For sure. I just want to thank everyone that supports the line. You're going to love the figures. They're great. Thanks to Soumya for coming up with a line that's just so cool. it's so unique, and his vision is so clear and so driven by passion, and he's such a passionate dude, and I love listening to him talk about it. And it was such a privilege and an honor to be able to get to work on this line. It comes down to luck of the draw for me, but I'm so glad that this is what was drawn for me, and I love every second working on these characters, and just can't wait to get them in hand. So just thank you to everybody, especially Soumya.
Yeah. Soumya, thank you, man, for coming on and spending some time with us. Good luck on the rest of the campaign. Super excited to see where we go from here, man. And what are your thoughts as the creator, the man behind this awesome Kickstarter line, as we head into the home stretch here?
Yep, that I'm primarily thankful to Eric, to the Four Horsemen, to whoever has contributed to this line, made it possible, and I'm thankful to everyone who has backed or is thinking to back the campaign. Right, coming from nothing to getting here, it feels like a long journey. Right, it's like someone who goes to a con to buy 5 figures or something like that, to where I have people rooting for me to succeed. That means a lot. That means a lot. If you are able back the campaign, I'll make sure you get your figures like in time, um, even like early, and I'll whatever is in my abilities, I'll do that to make you happy.
There you go. And it's already working, man. Again, thank you both for coming on and spending some time with me. Thank you to everyone who stopped in the chat. Thank you to everyone who will watch on the replay. And more than anything, thank you to every single person that backs this Kickstarter, just like I did, live on the air. Go do it. You will not regret it. But it's your last chance. Don't wait to do it. Back right now. Love all you guys. Anybody that can make it over, let's go over to Offworld tonight and hang out. And Soumya, good luck, man.
Thank you. Fingers crossed.
Look at this. $1.99 super chat from Curtis Ackerman. I help you to get to 1K and you go into our time slot. I apologize, Curtis. It's my fault. It's my fault because I could talk to these guys forever. But yeah, let's go over to Offworld. Back Legends of the Ramayan. And until next time, don't forget the number one rule. Back Legends of the Ramayan. That's what it is.
So I'll see you guys in November.